Snake Island. It's off the coast of Brazil, and it's crawling with venomous pit vipers that are now at the center of a mystery.
Some places look like paradise until you get too close. From lakes that burn your skin to islands where arrows fly from the trees, Earth is full of beautiful death traps. What makes these spots so terrifying isn't just nature, it's the secrets they hide. And when you get to number 1, you'll see why even scientists call it uninhabitable.
A frozen wall. If you don't move, you freeze.
Stick around. This is beauty at its most brutal. Number 20. Snake Island, Brazil. They call it Snake Island, and no one argues with the name. Off the coast of Brazil sits Ilha da Queimada Grande.
So being told I was going to a tiny speck of land off Brazil, inhabited by thousands of the most venomous vipers in the world, had me a little freaked out.
A patch of green that should be paradise, but isn't. It's crawling with golden lancehead vipers, some of the deadliest snakes in the world. Some say there are 5 snakes per square meter. One bite, and the venom shuts you down fast. There's no time to scream, no time to call for help. Locals whisper about the lighthouse keeper and his family. A storm rolled in. Snakes slipped through broken windows. None of them made it out. Today, only scientists with special government approval are allowed to visit, and even they carry anti-venom, just in case. The Brazilian Navy patrols the island to keep people away, but that hasn't stopped smugglers. Rare snake collectors will pay over $30,000 for a single viper. Is it a lost Eden or a nightmare wrapped in green? Whatever it is, Snake Island remains untouched. Not because it's sacred, but because it's suicide to go near it. Number 19. Mount Cinnabong, Indonesia. It looks peaceful, a green mountain in northern Sumatra. But Mount Cinnabong is anything but calm. For over 400 years, it slept. Then, in 2010, it exploded. And it hasn't stopped since. Lava isn't even the main threat. It's the phreatic explosions, sudden blasts of steam, ash, and gas that come with no warning. In 2014, one of those eruptions killed 16 people. 2 years later, another eruption sent ash over 3 miles into the sky.
Indonesian volcano Mount Cinnabong erupted early this morning, spewing ash as high as 2,000 meters up into the air.
Entire villages were buried. Over 30,000 people lost their homes. Some have relocated multiple times. To the locals, Cinnabong is cursed, angry spirits, disturbed ground, voices from beneath. But science points to the Pacific Ring of Fire, a chain of volcanoes that constantly shifts and roars. The volcano doesn't care if you're watching from far away or living right below it. Cinnabong sends a reminder every few months. It's still alive, still angry, and still dangerous. Number 18. Danakil Desert, Ethiopia. It's been called the cruelest place on Earth, and one of the most stunning. The Danakil Depression stretches across northeastern Ethiopia like a cracked and burning canvas. It's about 125 meters below sea level and holds the record for the highest average annual temperature on the planet, over 94 degrees Fahrenheit. On the worst days, it climbs above 130, but the real danger hides in the color. The landscape looks alien. Salt flats that shine like mirrors, neon pools in greens and yellows, and rust-red craters bubbling with acid. The Dalal volcano area is where it gets lethal. Here, the water is boiling, over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. The pH, less than 1. That's more acidic than battery acid. Gases like sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide rise from the ground in invisible clouds. One breath in the wrong spot, and you're coughing blood. Local guides speak of salt crusts that collapse under your feet, hiding boiling pits beneath. Scientists explain it with tectonic rifts and underground magma. Either way, it's mesmerizing, it's violent, and it's very much alive. Number 17. Death Valley, United States. The name isn't a joke. Death Valley is one of the hottest places ever recorded on Earth.
Death Valley's Furnace Creek hit 130 degrees.
130 degrees.
130 degrees.
Could be one of the hottest days ever recorded on Earth.
In July 1913, it hit a jaw-dropping 134 degrees Fahrenheit. That record stood for over a century. But modern summers aren't far behind. In July 2024, the valley saw 9 straight days over 125 degrees, with nighttime lows still above 90.
The record-breaking temperature from 1913 is why I'm here in Death Valley National Park.
This place is one of the hottest places in the world, really. On any given day in the summer, this is probably the hottest place.
From a distance, it's beautiful. Salt flats stretch like white plains, purple mountains shimmer, sand dunes roll like frozen waves. After rare rains, flowers bloom in impossible colors. But this beauty burns. A Belgian tourist once lost his flip-flops and suffered third-degree burns just walking on the sand. Others have collapsed, even died, just from heat stroke while hiking. The sun doesn't just bake the land, it turns it into an oven. Early travelers called it cursed. But it's no curse, it's physics. The basin traps heat, the air is bone dry, and the mountains lock everything in. Number 16, the Death Zone, Mount Everest. They call it the Death Zone for a reason. Above 26,000 feet on Mount Everest, the human body begins to shut down. There's only about 1/3 the oxygen you'd get at sea level. Your heart races, your brain fogs, and your muscles lose strength. Without supplemental oxygen, you're dying. Even if you're standing still. Over 300 people have died on Everest, and most of them died right here in the Death Zone. The most haunting part, more than 200 bodies are still up there, frozen in place, used as grim markers on the trail. Some climbers pass by green boots, a nickname for a corpse that became a landmark near a rocky step. Climbers have reported feeling strange peace, then disorientation. Some wander off the trail by accident, others sit down and never get back up. The cold is brutal, but the lack of oxygen is worse. Every step feels like a mile, and the worst part, even if you reach the top, you're only halfway there. Most deaths happen on the way down. Number 15, North Sentinel Island, India. Looks like a tropical dream. Palm trees, white sand, calm waves. But North Sentinel Island is off limits, and for good reason. The Sentinelese tribe lives there, and they've rejected contact for over 30,000 years. Arrows fly at anyone who dares come close. After the 2004 tsunami, helicopters flew over to check for survivors. The tribe was alive, standing on the beach, weapons drawn, no radios, no modern tools. And yet, they survived what others didn't. In 2018, American missionary John Allen Chow tried to approach. Days later, he was dead. His body was never recovered. Some call it a cursed island, others say it's sacred, but the truth is simple. This tribe doesn't want saving. They don't want change. They want distance. And the Indian government now enforces a full ban, not just to protect outsiders, but to protect the tribe from diseases they've never encountered. Number 14, Dal Ethiopia. In the same Danakil region as before lies something even more surreal, Dal, a place that looks like a painting but behaves like a monster. Pools glow in acid yellow, sulfur red, and neon green. Pillars of salt rise like alien towers. But nothing here is what it seems. These waters aren't just hot, they're lethal. Temperatures reach up to 230 degrees Fahrenheit. The pH level? Sometimes 0. That's pure acid. And unlike most extreme environments, even microbes struggle to live here. Some ponds are entirely sterile. Toxic gases hiss from vents. Sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, enough to burn your lungs in seconds. Local guides warn tourists to stay on the marked path. One wrong step and you might fall into a boiling pit, hidden by a crust of salt. Long ago, this place hosted a sulfur mining town, now abandoned. Today, Dal shifts daily. New springs appear, colors change. It's alive, but unkind. They say spirits of salt and fire roam here. Science says it's volcanic heat and tectonic forces. Either way, Dal demands respect, or it takes what it wants. Number 13, Kawaen Indonesia. You don't expect to see blue fire flowing down a volcano, but at night, Kawaen glows with it. Surreal flames licking through sulfur vents. It looks magical. Until you get closer. That lava, it's burning sulfur gas, igniting when it hits the air. The crater lake above, it's filled with hydrochloric acid, glowing turquoise and beautiful, but deadly. Its pH has been measured as low as 0.13. One drop can burn skin. The air, acidic enough to rot teeth and scar lungs. Yet local miners work there every day. They climb into the crater with nothing but a cloth over their mouths. They chip solid sulfur from vents and carry loads over 100 pounds uphill for hours. It's dangerous, it's thankless, and it's the only livelihood they've got. Explorer George Karunas once rowed across the lake in a rubber boat to test the water. He laughed it off, but every second was a gamble. Kawaen is raw beauty, laced with risk. A place where men trade safety for survival, and nature dazzles while it burns. Number 12. Fukushima Exclusion Zone, Japan. On March 11, 2011, an earthquake and tsunami slammed into Japan. What followed changed the map and people's lives. At the Fukushima Daiichi plant, 3 nuclear reactors melted down. Radiation poured into the air. Thousands fled. Towns were left with food still on plates, schools frozen mid-lesson, pets abandoned. An entire region became a ghost town. Today, the Fukushima Exclusion Zone spans over 1,000 square kilometers. Nature returned. Deer on highways, trees through houses. Some streets look peaceful. But Geiger counters tell a different story. A massive cleanup followed. 75,000 workers, $27 billion spent. Many areas are now safe to visit. But hotspots still exist, places where radiation levels spike without warning. Some say the land is cursed, others believe it's healing. Scientists point to long-term risks, soil contamination, bioaccumulation, and subtle genetic changes in wildlife. The scariest part? You can't see the danger. It's invisible, odorless, and silent. But it's there, still waiting. Number 11. Pryot, Ukraine. Long before Fukushima, there was Pryot. In 1986, the Chernobyl reactor exploded. Just 3 kilometers away sat a city built for workers, 50,000 people, most under age 30. They weren't told the truth, not right away. The explosion happened in the early hours of April 26th, but the evacuation didn't begin until late the next day. People left in buses, thinking they'd be back in a few days. They never returned. Today, Pryot looks like a Soviet postcard frozen in time. Rusted Ferris wheels, children's shoes in classrooms, dusty furniture still in place. And then there's the Claw, a massive machine used to scoop radioactive debris. It still pulses with radiation. Even standing near it too long can make you sick. Legends speak of a winged creature, the Black Bird of Chernobyl, spotted by workers before the blast. Omen or myth, it adds to the city's eerie silence. Short tours are allowed now, with protective gear, but danger lingers, in the soil, in the air, in forgotten corners where the fallout never faded. Number 10. The Bermuda Triangle. Few places stir the imagination like the Bermuda Triangle, a vast stretch of ocean between Miami, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, spanning up to 1.5 million square miles. This triangle has swallowed ships and planes without a trace. Flight 19, a group of Navy bombers, vanished in 1945. No distress calls, no wreckage, just silence. Their last message? All planes close up tight, we'll have to ditch unless landfall. Some say aliens took them, others speak of Atlantis, magnetic anomalies, or wormholes. The ocean becomes calm, radios go dead, and vessels vanish. But scientists have another explanation. The area is prone to violent storms, rogue waves over 100 feet tall, and shallow waters that can rip apart vessels. The mystery might not be paranormal, just pure chaos. Still, the disappearances feel different here, like the ocean remembers, like something watches beneath the waves. Number 9. St. Louis, United States. You don't have to climb a volcano or sail into a myth to find danger. Sometimes, it's right in your backyard. In St. Louis, Missouri, parts of the city rank among the most dangerous places in the world, not because of nature, but because of people. In neighborhoods like Peabody-Darst Webb, violent crime rates are over 1,000% higher than the national average. That means you're more than 10 times more likely to be robbed, assaulted, or worse just by stepping outside. In 2021, a man was gunned down for witnessing a crime. In 2022, a 14-year-old was shot dead on a school field. These aren't outliers, they're patterns. And the scary part? Nothing changes. Decades of mayors, police chiefs, and programs haven't dented the stats. Some say it's poverty, others blame broken systems or old pain that never healed. But to the people living there, it's not statistics. It's daily survival, a city of rich culture, art, and resilience, overshadowed by violence that refuses to let go. Number 8. Frying Pan Lake, New Zealand. Frying Pan Lake looks like it belongs in a fantasy novel, water, while bubbling gas escapes in soft hisses. But this lake isn't just hot, it's dangerous. Formed after Mount Tarawera's eruption in 1886 and filled by hydrothermal activity in 1918, Frying Pan Lake spans nearly 10 acres. The water temperature stays between 122 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, with acidic pH levels around 3.8. The gas it releases includes carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. Breathe too deep, and your lungs burn. Touch the water, expect serious burns. Local Maori legends speak of fire spirits that stir the lake. Scientists say the cause is geothermal heat rising through volcanic faults, feeding a hydrothermal system that links to nearby Inferno crater. Together, the two lakes cycle water and temperature in a strange, unpredictable rhythm every 38 days. Nobody swims here. Nobody wades in. The lake isn't fenced, but it doesn't need to be. The rising steam and faint sulfur scent are warning enough. Beautiful to look at, deadly to touch. Number 7. Bikini Atoll, Marshall Islands. You'd never guess this peaceful-looking island once shook the world. In 1954, the United States detonated its largest nuclear test, Castle Bravo, at Bikini Atoll. It was over 1,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The blast left a crater over a mile wide and blanketed nearby islands in radioactive ash. A Japanese fishing boat, the Lucky Dragon No. 5, was caught in the fallout. Crew members got sick. One died. The global outrage sparked a new awareness of radiation's reach. The island itself? Still radioactive. Palm trees grow, birds sing, but the soil contains cesium. The coconuts are dangerous to eat. And while diving near shipwrecks sounds like adventure, some fish show mutations that unsettle even seasoned researchers. Strangely, the name Bikini, for the famous swimsuit, comes from here. Designer Louis Rayard said it would cause an explosive reaction like the tests. Dark irony wrapped in fashion. Number 6. Satarum River, Indonesia. It should be a lifeline. Instead, the Satarum River in Indonesia is a flowing disaster. Once a source of water, food, and life, it's now considered the most polluted river in the world. More than 20,000 tons of waste are dumped into it daily. Factories release chemicals directly into the water. Some sections are so thick with plastic and debris, you can walk across the surface, not on water, but on trash. In 2017, scientists tested the water and found mercury levels 100 times above the World Health Organization's safe limit. It causes kidney damage, brain disorders, and worse. Still, locals bathe in it, wash clothes, fish, drink. Many have no choice. During monsoons, the water floods homes, skin burns, children get rashes. Some villagers believe the river is cursed, a punishment for greed and neglect. Activists are fighting to clean it. The Indonesian military even stepped in. But progress is slow. The river moves quietly, deadly, forgotten, and still swallowing more every day. Number 5. The Darian Gap. There's no road here, no safe path, just miles of jungle that doesn't care who you are. Between Panama and Colombia lies the Darian Gap, a lawless stretch of swamps, mountains, and rainforest, known as one of the most dangerous crossings on Earth. It's part natural barrier, part no man's land. The jungle is thick, the rivers run fast. Poisonous snakes, jaguars, and disease-carrying mosquitoes lurk behind every tree. But that's not the worst of it. Armed smugglers, cartels, and gangs operate freely. Kidnappings, robberies, and murders happen far from cameras. Locals whisper about spirits and curses, but the real threat walks on 2 feet. Still, desperate people keep crossing. In 2023, over 520,000 migrants braved the gap. Many never made it out. At least 55 confirmed deaths, but far more unreported. The Darian doesn't just test strength, it tests hope. And even if you survive, it changes you. Number 4. Avalanches in Afghanistan. In February 2015, Afghanistan's Panjshir Valley turned silent. Snow fell for 2 days straight, up to 6 feet deep. Then came the roar. Over 30 avalanches thundered down the mountains, wiping out entire villages. Homes disappeared. Families were buried as they slept. In one night, over 250 lives were lost. Nearly 5,000 homes destroyed. Thousands left without shelter in freezing conditions. Locals dug with bare hands. No rescue helicopters, no advanced equipment, just shovels, grief, and sheer will. Some say the mountains were angry, punishing intruders. But scientists saw it coming. A weak snowpack, steep slopes, and no warning system. Even now, with modern tech, avalanches in Afghanistan strike hard and fast. And the tragedy of that winter still lingers, in the eyes of survivors, in the cracks on rebuilt homes, and in the memory of the night when snow fell like a whisper and screamed on its way down. Number 3. Cyclone Nargus, Myanmar. In May 2008, the skies over Myanmar looked heavy, but few expected what came next. Cyclone Nargus hit with winds up to 130 miles per hour and storm surges over 12 feet high. In just a few hours, whole villages vanished. Water swallowed the land. Trees snapped like twigs. Homes crumbled. Over 138,000 people were dead or missing. 2.5 million lost everything. The Irrawaddy Delta was left underwater. Crops destroyed. Livestock gone. Disease followed. Locals said river spirits rose in anger. Scientists say it was a perfect storm. Warm sea temperatures, poor warning systems, and flat land that couldn't fight back. The world watched, horrified, but help was slow, and when it came, it wasn't enough. Even now, the scars of Nargus remain, in broken coastlines, in lost generations, and in the fear that another storm could come, just as fast, just as silent. Number 2. Mount Pinatubo, Philippines. On June 15, 1991, the Earth cracked open in the Philippines. Mount Pinatubo, after months of rumbling, erupted at 1:42 p.m. Ash shot over 20 miles into the sky. Over 10 cubic kilometers of magma blasted out, the second largest eruption of the 20th century. It was violent, but what followed was worse. Typhoon Yunya arrived right after. The rain mixed with volcanic ash to form lahars, deadly mudflows that buried homes, roads, and lives. In the end, over 800 people died from the eruption. At least 1,500 more were lost to floods, landslides, and collapsing roofs. Over 100,000 left homeless. But out of that violence came strange beauty. A deep emerald lake formed in the crater, framed by jagged cliffs. It glistens under the sun, peaceful now. Still, the mountain sleeps with one eye open. Scientists say sulfur dioxide from Pinatubo cooled the planet by 1/4 degree for years. The sunsets turned red around the world. Locals speak of Bako, the turtle spirit that bored into the volcano and woke the fire. Myth or not, Pinatubo left a mark no one can forget. Number 1. Oyakan, Russia. It looks like a fairy tale. Snow-covered forests, glowing ice crystals, and trees frozen in time. But Oyakan, in Siberia, is no fantasy. It's the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. In February 1933, temperatures hit -89.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Even today, winter days average -50. Ink freezes, eyelashes turn to frost. Car engines must run constantly, or they die, frozen solid. The air is so dry, breath crystallizes mid-air. Locals call it the whispering of the stars. But there's nothing gentle about it. Frostbite can strike in minutes. Pipes explode. Food must be stored outside like it's in a freezer, because it is. And yet, people live here. Around 500 of them. Schools stay open until -62. They eat frozen reindeer meat, fish sliced like glass, and stay warm with layers, fire, and tradition. A myth says the name Oyakan means unfrozen patch of water, named after a spring that never froze. Maybe that's why people settled here. Or maybe it's proof that even in the harshest places, life finds a way. So, which one chilled you the most? The lake that boils souls? The jungle that swallows thousands? Or maybe that frozen town where ink freezes mid-sentence? Earth is beautiful, but unforgiving. And these places prove it. Would you dare visit any of them? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more dangerous beauty like this, go ahead and subscribe. There's a lot more Earth isn't telling us.